Oh my gosh. So I want to apologize about the song that was just playing. We've had some other songs and stuff that we've put on the channel that I've licensed personally, but we've still gotten flagged for putting on the stream in the beginning. So I found a royalty-free streaming channel, and I'm like listening to it for an hour. I'm like, yeah, these are good songs. This will work. And then of course the first one I put on is big ass titties. Anyway, welcome guys. Welcome to Shuukan TokuNet Live, the only Tokusatsu live show that we produce, and it's one of the coolest ones because we look at all of the news articles that we produce over the week here at the Tokusatsu Network. So welcome everybody. I'm Squall Charleston. If this is your first time here, welcome. Also, you'll notice at the top of the screen there's a link there that will take you to our Google Doc that will basically ask you, and you can put in any questions or comments you want for the show. Oh man, you guys, we've had a tough week. We've had a tough couple of weeks with some of the news of some of the other actors falling ill, some other bad things happening. The first story we obviously have to cover this week is that of Kamen Rider Build Action's crew member Daichi Nobe. Unfortunately, he died. On June 13th, he fell unconscious immediately after practicing a fall from a tall height at a hotel and was taken to the hospital. But early in the morning on the 14th, it was confirmed that he had passed away. According to his agency, Japan Action Enterprise, he had performed in both Kamen Rider Build and X-Aid, and from what I saw looking into it more, he was also a member for Zyuohger as well as Q Ranger. According to the Chiba police, Nobe was practicing a fall on the hotel's 5th floor, approximately 15 meters high, onto an air mattress. And according to the agency, he staggered off the mat, falling to his side, and he lost consciousness. So this training was held once a year by the agency, who stated that he, Nobe, was familiar with falls. They released a statement that said he was an irreplaceable member of the agency as an actor and a stuntman. We are praying from the bottom of our hearts for him, and we are sincerely thankful for everyone's kindness and deeply apologize to our fans for the concern and trouble this incident has caused. And I can personally say, it goes a long way to say that they made a statement that is concerned about the fans as well. But, we want to know about this stuff. We, because when you watch a movie, when you watch a TV show and you see all those like credits, like the hundreds and thousands of people that sometimes work on it, like you have to give thanks to everybody on production. His co-star, Yasuyuki Meokawa, who portrays Soichi and Evolt in Kamen Rider Build, released this statement via his blog. Daichi Nobe, who I worked with together on Kamen Rider Build, suddenly passed away today at the young age of only 21. I've lost a precious friend who I worked with on the same show. We lost a young talent who had just begun to run towards his dream, and it is a true shame. I have absolutely no words when I think about his family's sorrow. Nobe poured all of his love into Build and will aspire towards part of that dream. We'll pour our heart into the soul of Kamen Rider Build until the very end. That is our mission. So, very touching, but it just kind of goes to show you how, if you guys have never worked on a set before, literally, like, the longer you work, especially TV show, where you're working on this for over a year, like, everybody on crew becomes a family because you're spending anywhere from 5 to 10 to 12 hours a day or more working with these people. So it really sucks to have this happen. And I believe that he was one of the main stunt coordinators for the Hell Bros. I'm not quite sure on that. I didn't have enough time to look fully into that. But yeah, it's really sad. But Daichi, thank you so much for your work. Thank you so much for everything you've done in the series of X-Aid, Build, Zyuohger, and Q Ranger. Thank you. All right, let's move on. So Tetsuya, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Iwanaga teases new X-Aid material. You guys might know him better as Dan Kodato, the villain during the first half of Kamen Rider X-Aid, and he posted a new piece of art, this right here, featuring many of the Kamen Riders from Kamen Rider X-Aid. Along with the piece of art, he teased, "It seems like something is going to start soon." What exactly does this mean? I mean, we've got the show's ending, we got the V-Cinemas, so what could be next? What's going on? Anyway, we'll find out more about that when it becomes available, when someone else tweets, or when, something is announced. But so far, this is all that we have, but strap yourselves in, X-Aid fans. Looks like we got some more coming on. Looks like we got a new Deno in-house. All right. So, here's the one that's been talked about the most today. Power Ranger Brothers do a Magical Girl Ore photo shoot. So you guys, if you know these guys, these are the Sidarso brothers. You got Peter, who is currently on Power Rangers Ninja Steel as Preston, the Blue Ranger, and Yoshi Sidarso, who played in the previous 2 seasons for Dino Charge and Super Dino Charge as Kota, the Blue Ranger. So these guys are pretty well known in the fandom. They're very nice. If you've ever talked to them on Twitter, they usually will respond to you. They're super cool, down-to-earth guys who actually appreciate the fandom and what we do here today. But basically, they responded a couple weeks ago to a popular costume request. So back on May 6th, Twitter user Not Yorishide sent out an interesting request to the actors. Peter and Yoshi, who are known for playing in Power Rangers, they've also appeared on the tabletop RPG show Power Rangers Hyperforce. The call was to participate in a Magical Girl Ore cosplay photo shoot. So it's a pretty popular show that's on right now. Once Peter elected to get his brother on board, they set the challenge limit at 10,000 retweets for the original post. And since then, the total has since been met and exceeded by a couple thousand more. And here we are. Here's one of the images that was posted by Crunchyroll over on Twitter. And they have a full article about the challenge and process. And we'll be posting about this again very soon coming up. But a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff there. But it's so funny that they actually did that. You gotta love these guys. These guys are great. These guys are legendary. I hope we can keep seeing them in some capacity. Maybe even get a whole show starring both of these two. That would be really cool. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys want. I hope they translate Mighty Novel X. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Someone was telling me about that like last week. Yeah, that'd be cool. Moving on, the Kamen Rider build Be the One and Lupin Ranger vs. Pato Ranger and film details revealed. So the Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger vs. Keisatsu Sentai Pato Ranger and film follows Kairi, Lupin Red, and Keiichiro, Paten Ren 1, the leaders of the Lupin Rangers and Pato Rangers being captured by the Ganglers and forcing them to work together while the mysterious detective Herlock Sholmes, who's played by Naoki Tanaka, which we talked about I think last week, while he tracks the rest of the team. On the other side, Be the One takes place after the conclusion war seen in Kamen Rider Build, and it follows a new government that's been established with new governors leading each part of the country, all of which are part of the carefully crafted Build Annihilation Plan, which sees Kiryu Sento, Kamen Rider Build himself, becoming a target of every Japanese person. And it's a battle that will see Ryuga Banjo, Kamen Rider Cross Z, and Kiryu battle each other, as well as the arrival of the mysterious and deadly Kamen Rider Blood. The trailer teased the destroyed bonds between partners, while stating that 2 people can bring about a miracle. Ooh, we're gonna get Kamen Rider Double Part 2. watch them combine. Something like that's gonna happen. So Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Keisatsu Sentai Pato Ranger and film and Kamen Rider Build Be the One will release on August 4th. Be the One. It's an interesting title. I don't know which one is more lazy this year. It's like French for the film, or it's Kamen Rider Build's theme song title. That's like Kamen Rider O's Anything Goes. Actually, that would be a kind of good title. Never mind. Moving up. All right. We also have Beverly, who sang Be the One to perform Everlasting Sky for Kamen Rider Build movie. So, she's the singer, obviously credited for the theme song for Kamen Rider Build. and she will perform the upcoming song Everlasting Sky as a solo artist. If you guys don't know, Be the One debuted at number 3 on the Japanese Oricon music charts and has sold over 50,000 physical copies and over 100,000 downloads. And it's the 8th most successful Kamen Rider opening single. Oh, the 8th. I wonder what's the most successful one. Would it be last year's? I have to look that up. If anybody knows, feel free to drop it in chat. What's the most successful Kamen Rider opening single? That would be... it could be something back in the 70s, because those were way more popular, in a way. She followed you on Twitter. But yeah, and let's move on to our last big piece of the week. We have Japan Cuts Film Festival to host the live-action Bleach US premiere. And if you guys don't know or can't notice right now, that's Gentaro. That's from Forza. He's playing Ichigo. It's going to be awesome. So earlier this week, the Japan Society announced that they will be debuting the U.S. premiere of the Bleach live-action movie. And the screening will take place on Saturday, July 28th, as part of the Japan Cuts 2018. And I had to look this up. It takes place in New York. So if you guys are in the New York area, go see this if you can. The director of the film is Shinsuke Sato, who did Gantz, and he also did the Inuyashiki movie that just came out. Will be on hand for a Q&A ahead of the premiere and will introduce the movie, which will be shown with English subtitles. So for all you guys that don't speak Japanese. Additionally, a new trailer has been made available online showing the full cast of the movie, which you can check out now. And if you head over to the tokusatsunetwork.com, we have the full list of every actor in this movie that is a Tokusatsu alum, and I had to cut it for time because it was literally over like 10 or 15 names. Like, there's so many people in this movie and so many people that you'll recognize. Like, super excited for this. This thing, it looks fantastic. The director Sato, he's a genius. If you guys have seen Gantz, you know what I'm talking about. If you just seen the trailer, this movie looks so good, and I can't wait to see it. And I wish I was there. I wish I could talk to the guy. Because I got a couple few questions for him. Yeah, but if anybody figures out what the highest grossing Kamen Rider theme song is, so seriously, let me know. Let's move on to everyone's favorite moment. It's the Shuukan. Who's that Tokuman? And this week's is this. It looks just as ridiculous as I thought it would. That's... Oh my gosh. If anybody can guess this, you are a brilliant, charismatic soul. Let's jump to a couple questions. So if you guys use that link at the top, I'm going to be answering a few of these questions here to the best of my ability. Here we go. How would you make a final Heisei show that celebrates the entire era without relying on forms based on past transformations or teaming up with older writers? Well, you look at Decade, and Decade did this parallel universe, which I think worked. I liked it. It wasn't the best show they could have made, but it was like probably on paper the best idea. But I think it would be really cool almost to have like a fourth wall writer, almost like a Deadpool-esque writer, where he knows everything about Kamen Rider, and it's from these past shows that he gets lessons, and the monsters sort of like imitate what's going on in real life and what he has to face himself or herself, which would be really cool. I wish they would do a female Kamen Rider lead, but we're probably not going to get that for a while. So I think that would be kind of cool, like where the lessons of the past 19 seasons sort of influence this character and the decisions and the choices that they have to make, whether they be the smart and obvious choice of like, oh, I've seen this happen before, I have to like get to that car to save this kid, or the hard choices of like the end of Double, when you have to, sometimes have those hard goodbyes. You have to say goodbye to someone who's been with you and in your life for so long and is your best friend. Like, I think that would be kind of cool. But everyone online is just like, it's going to be Decade 2.0. And I'm like, well, I think they learned their mistake, especially because they cut it early at 31 episodes. Let's see. What is your favorite and least favorite Sentai mecha? I really liked, I'll start off with my least favorite, and that's the Gokaigers. Now, it looks good as a Gatai form, but they never explain the mecha outside of Red's giant ship. And if you look at it, they're all like Russian nesting dolls of mecha inside one another. And that doesn't make any sense because they're walking around on the inside and it's this huge ship that they all live in. But apparently there's supposed to be 4 other mechas that are all nested in one another. It drove me crazy. Like, I was just trying to like figure out, and they never explain it. They never have a use for them other than the red ship that flies around. But my favorite, I don't know. I really like the simple ones. Like, I really like what was it? What was the one that like drops like the ropes down to the legs and it pulls the legs into it? I forget what that one was, but that one's stuck with me. I think it's an older one. I remember seeing that as a kid and I was like, oh, it's actually technical. That's really cool. Or the Time Rangers. I love the Time Rangers. I had the like $200 set when I was a kid because I'm a child of divorced parents, so my dad wanted to get back at my mom, so he bought me the $200 Megazord set that came with all the stuff. And I like literally at a talent show went in front of like 300 kids, friends, family, and I like was like, this is my talent, and I put it together in like under a minute, and everyone was like, cool. So that one was one of my favorites. Oh yeah, and I'm also like needed like the Hurricane where it had like the ball in the chest. That was really cool. Yeah. Do you think that Kamen Rider needs to stop with the infinite final forms? I mean, it's a toy show. You guys literally watch 30-minute toy commercials. That's what they are. Like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but these shows only exist to first and foremost sell toys. And so that is pretty much what it is. So if they don't have enough toys to sell, they have to introduce a new form. They have to introduce a new mech. They have to introduce something that the kids are going to want to buy. And it's kind of a hit or miss. It's kind of like they have to feel it out. And it's really hard to do because they put these things into production so many months in advance that, you know, it's really hard to do. This is from Adam. If you have a chance to audition for Kamen Rider, would you do it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think I'm getting too old to be like maybe one of the main riders because they definitely want to have like a youthful teenager or like young adult. But I feel like I could be like a strong secondary character, like a strong second rider or like a villain or something. I think that would be kind of cool. How's your day going? It's going actually really well. I slept in a little bit too much, but you guys saw that new intro I made? It's fun. It's been going well. People are always talking about Western adaptations of Toku, but what Western series do you want to be adapted to Toku, aka the Spider-Man treatment? And this one's from Ring-kun Mori. I don't know. It's so weird because we've had series like SPD, Power Rangers SPD went... This is how it happened, if you guys don't know. There was Deca Ranger, which was a season of Sentai that got sent over to America to be adapted into Power Rangers SPD, and it was so good that they brought it back to they brought it back to Japan, and the original cast of Deca Ranger voiced over their American adaptation counterparts. It's the craziest, like, what kind of timeline world are we living in that happened? So they do kind of port this stuff, and it's way easier to voice over than to like adapt a series. And Japan doesn't have a lot of its own media. Like, it has like the small things that it does, but it doesn't go out of its way to like do a lot of that stuff. Because today, like with today's things, it can easily be subtitled or just transitioned over with a voiceover. Since all they literally have to do today is just mute the vocal track, and they still get like all the background sound, atmosphere, and stuff. But if there was something that could be adapted into Japanese, because they literally do everything a lot better, they could do... Shoot, I'm trying to think of something good here. I'd like to see a Japanese Stranger Things. Let's just say that. I think that would be really interesting because there's this movie from 1977 called House, and It's literally 7 samurai if they were high school girls going on a summer vacation to meet one of their grandmother, and it's a haunted house, and it's like there's a piano that like eats one of the girls. That is something that it blows my mind how that happened. But I would love to see a Japanese Stranger Things. I think that would be super ridiculous. Anyway, all right, let's continue. Let's finish the show off. So, did anybody guess what this is? I'm kind of scrolling through the comments right now. Did anybody guess what this is? I don't think anybody would, but it's our Discord. So if you guys are on Discord, we actually on the TokuNet just set up a new Discord for pretty much everybody in the fandom to come hang out. We have a bunch of channels, we have a bunch of places to connect and meet and talk with people that share the same interests as you and make new friends. And that's really why we set it up. You can go there, you can talk to me, you can talk to anybody else on the editorial team. We're all there and it's constantly growing, so we'd love to see you over there. There's a link for it down in the description. But yeah, sorry, it was a little trick answer, but of course it is. Let's move on. So Premium Bandai announces the Ultraman Guts Hypergun. Yeah. So the Guts Hypergun is a universal gun carried by members of the defense organization Global Unlimited Task Squad, or GUTS, from the Ultraman series from 1996 to 97. This upgraded version has added functions and sounds that were not included in the original toy released back when the series aired. God, that dog does not stop. The user is now able to take the cartridges out from the bottom of the loading section to enhance play. And furthermore, the laser pointer under the muzzle, which is not found in the original toy, at the broadcast uses LED lights now. By pressing a button in the back of the grip, sound effects will play. So Ultraman Guts Hypergun set includes the Gut Hypergun, 6 cartridges, and 3 LR44 batteries. Premium Bandai started accepting reservations from now until August 20th for about 7,000 yen, and is scheduled for shipment in November, later this year. Alright, the Defo Real Godzilla figurine announced. So Defo Real Godzilla 1984 is a figurine of Godzilla from the 1984's The Return of Godzilla. Measuring at 13 centimeters, or 5.1 inches for you in America, it features a realistic sculpt and depicts Godzilla holding a non-removable nuclear reactor. This will be available for pre-order until June 22nd, and I think we got a week left for about 6,480 Japanese yen, and it is expected to ship in October. God, that's such a cute figurine. Oh my gosh. Thank you as always for watching, and be sure to visit our website over at the tokusatsunetwork.com for these articles and more. There's images, there's more stuff that I don't really necessarily talk about because I'm just kind of skimming it down. But if you guys don't go there, don't visit, you should. We have a lot of good fun stuff over there. We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we constantly post, and it's just all the good stuff that you want to know about Tokusatsu that's going in there. Like there's a couple articles that I skipped this week. Like Kamen Rider Beast from Wizard, he just announced his marriage, so happy for him. More fun stuff like that. So, with that in mind, thank you guys as always for coming and hanging out with Shuukan TokuNet Live, the best place for your weekly Tokusatsu news here on YouTube. We got some more links down below, so if you guys haven't joined our Discord, come and do it. It's free, it's fun, it's the best place to interact and meet with people, and we're all there too, so it's just a lot of fun, as well as Patreon. Guys, come and hang out and support us, but we love seeing you guys here. We love seeing when you guys comment and interact with us online. So thank you again for hanging out with me. I will see you guys all next week, same time, same place, Saturday, 6 p.m. PST. Was it 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I don't know. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.